This dog dug his own grave and waited to die. But what happened next will change how you see hope. They found him in the middle of nowhere. His ribs were showing, his paws raw from digging. He had carved a shallow hole beneath a dying tree and curled into it, half covered in dust and silence. Most would have thought he was just trying to stay warm or hide from predators. But the truth was deeper, quieter. He wasn't hiding from danger. He was hiding from hope. You see, hope can be cruel when it's betrayed enough times. It teases you with relief, then reminds you that the world doesn't always come back for those left behind. This dog, later named Hollow, had clearly once belonged to someone. A collar still clung loosely to his neck. But there was no chip, no name. Just the empty look of someone who stopped expecting to be wanted. Psychologists call this learned helplessness, when even freedom feels futile, because every attempt at rescue has ended in pain. And it's not just dogs. How often do you shrink yourself before the world gets a chance to hurt you? How many opportunities have you ignored, not because you didn't want them, but because deep down, you didn't believe you deserved them? The philosopher Bonhoeffer once said, "The ultimate test of a moral society is the kind of world it leaves to its most vulnerable." But what if that vulnerability lives inside you? What if you're the one digging your own emotional grave every time you say, "I'm fine," when you're breaking, or "it's okay" when it's not? Hollow was nearly missed. A rescue worker spotted him only because of a shift in the sand. When they approached, he didn't growl. He didn't run. He simply laid there, waiting for the world to decide if he mattered. They lifted him out with shaking hands. He didn't resist. But here's the twist. Not the moment they saved him. It was the moment he saved himself. Weeks into recovery, after food and shelter and medical care, Hollow still wouldn't play, wouldn't bark, wouldn't connect. Until one evening, a child visiting the shelter dropped a torn blanket near his cage. The dog slowly pulled it into his corner and rested his head on it. For the first time, he chose comfort. That's when they knew. He was starting to dig out. It wasn't a dramatic leap. It wasn't a heroic bark. It was a decision, quiet and personal, to stop disappearing. That's what healing looks like. Not fireworks, but tiny rebellions against the pain. So here's what I'll leave you with. What part of you are you ready to dig out from? Comment below. Let's support each other.